Welcome, everybody. So, we're going to have a lot of fun in this little brief training because apparently not all consultants are filling out paperwork. I know that sounds like super boring, but you've got to be filling out receipts for your customers. So, I asked a consultant who's been in Mary Kay about 4 or 5 months. She's probably sold a couple $1,000s by now. And I said, "Well, what did you give her for a receipt?" She goes, "Oh, I didn't. I just told her total." And I said, "So, you haven't been filling out receipts?" She goes, "No." I'm like, "So you don't know what people bought?" She goes, "Not really." So that's not good. So I'm going to take you down two different paths. Okay, so path number one is you choose to do a paper receipt, which is totally fine. Here's what I'm going to tell you. If you get her to fill out a paper receipt, you're going to want to make sure the following things are on the paper receipt. You're going to want to make sure that she has her birthday because it's not listed on here. Ask her for her birthday month and day. You're going to ask her for her mailing address. You can send her a lookbook in the preferred customer program. You're also going to ask her for her email address and her cell number, and just say to her, all of this is just for me. You're not going to be put on some crazy website. I just need to make sure I have all your information. So on the receipt, though, it does ask for her first and last name. It does ask for her address or city. It does ask for her email. But I've had many people put down their email and I can't read it. So make sure that you're able to read your email and all of that. Okay. So let's just say you meet with, so I met with a lady today. We met virtually, and her name is Carrie. Her name is Carrie Dixon. And so I have a couple options. I could fill this all out, get all her information, create a paper receipt. Then I would just hand her the second copy, which is the customer copy, and then I would put these in a pile. Then what you can do, if you choose to do that, is then maybe once a week, every 2 weeks, whatever. I used to do always on a Sunday night. You're going to go and do one of two things. You're either going to go on your computer and log into marykintouch.com, click under business tools, something called the My Customers, okay, or My Customers Plus, either one. Now, my for personal opinion is when you do it on a desktop or a laptop, it's not quite as user friendly as the phone app. That's just my personal opinion. I just find the phone app is more updated and it's just easier to do. So let's say though, I want to use my computer. I'm going to go in and I'm going to enter this woman, Carrie, um, into the My Customers app, right? I'm just going to put her personal information, regardless of what she bought. I'm going to put in her name, her email, her phone number. It'll ask down below for her birthday, all of that. If you don't have it all, that's okay, but put in everything that you have. Then it's going to ask me, then I can add an order to that customer. So I go up to, this is on a desktop or a tablet, or it's on Mary Kay in Touch, okay? Not on your phone. Then you go up to add order, and it's going to ask you out of inventory or CDS. Out of inventory means you took it off your shelf and you're delivering it. Okay, CDS meaning you're asking Mary Kay to ship it directly to your client. Okay, which in this case I'm going to do because this woman lives in Sacramento and I don't. And so I won't be up there for 5 days. And she wants the stuff like now. So I'm going to click CDS and then I'm going to put in what she ordered. So I got a little off track here. So if, let's say it was in person, right? I fill out a paper receipt with all Carrie's information. She purchased from me the repair, the eye makeup remover at half off from special deals. She picked a couple things and she also ordered microderm. So I put all of that itemized on here. She then pays me, leaves my house, or I leave her house, whatever. And now I've got this paper receipt. That's when I'm going to take the paper receipt, click on either My Customers on Mary Kay in Touch and input it all, or the Mary Kay My Customer app. Now, I'll tell you the reason why I like the phone app is because there's a place where I can put in discounts. So it'll say, like, I gave her the repair set for $199 because she just had a facial with me today. And it's one of those deals across the top, right? $199 for a set. So she gets the repair set for $199. But because she spent $199, I showed her the August special deals, which I thought I had right here, but I don't. So on the August special deals is eye makeup remover and lipstick. So she chose a lipstick and she chose an eye makeup remover at half off. So it allows me on the app to go in and do discounts, 10 for eye makeup remover, 10 for lipstick. So it was a $20 discount. Then it's also going to ask you on the phone app, who's paying for shipping? Are you having her pay for shipping or am I? If the customer of mine spends more than $25, I just pay for shipping. But here's the blessing is I click on there that I will pay for shipping. So then it gives me her total minus her discounts, right? The thing I love about that is that at the end of the year, I literally print out a report that says sales for the year. And in that sales report, it'll say you paid $177 in shipping last year to your customers. Okay. Or it'll say, and then it'll show me how much I gave in discounts. So tax wise, honestly, you guys, it is so much easier to do it on the computer. And I get old school paper receipts. I totally get that. All right. So again, just to recap, so your options are this. You meet with a client. You can even hand her your phone and go straight to the My Customer app. And I'll just pull this up and show you what it looks like when you open it. So it looks something like this. Okay. And you're going to go down here to see this little plus thing here. And you're just going to click on that plus and it's going to say, do you want to add a person? Are you shopping? Whatever. And you're just going to click, I want to add a person. It'll say, great. What is her name? What is all her info? So I could literally sit down once a week with my paper receipts and input her stuff. Does that make sense? Now, if she's, or so the way I track this is if she is a new customer, and I'm going to cover up some names because I don't want to, if she's a repeat customer, almost none of the top is filled out. It just has her, like literally her name on it and what she bought because she's a repeat customer. I don't need to put all that. If she's a brand new customer of mine, I will have had her fill out everything, and I'm not going to show you, but her whole thing is completely filled out. Her name, her address, her phone number, her zip code, everything. So when I see that, I go, oh, she's a new customer. So I know to enter all that. Why is that important? Well, it isn't important just for tax time, but when you go to enroll customers in the preferred customer program, trust me, you're going to be scrambling, going, oh my gosh, who's already in my system? Who's not in my system? So once I take a paper receipt of a client's purchase, right, and I enter her, what I do is I take a big highlighter or Sharpie and I just write MC. That stands for my customers. That means she's entered. Her sale is entered. She's entered. I'm good to go. And I will tell you why this is really critical. I had a customer just yesterday say, you're not going to believe this, but she goes, my cosmetic bag got stolen out of my purse. She goes, don't ask me why they didn't take my phone. They took my cosmetic bag. And there was her foundation, a lipstick she just bought for me like a month ago, her mascara. I'm not sure what else probably other brands, unfortunately, have other stuff, but that's my opportunity to sell her all Mary Kay. She goes, so whatever foundation you just matched me for, that's what I want to rebuy. Well, if I put on here just the word foundation and charge her 25, I'm not going to know what color she is. That's not her job. That's our job. So that's why I really feel the customer thing is so, so important. So if she is a new client, you're going to literally go to the My Customer app on here, which is free from the App Store. You can click on this and add her as a customer and then do her order. If you've already delivered it, like all of those receipts that I have right there, if I've already delivered it, I'm going to go in and it's going to say out of inventory. I'm going to click that, meaning I've already taken it out of my inventory. Okay. And so they don't ask you who's paying for shipping and all that because you took it out of your inventory. Does that make sense? So it's really, really key. If you're sending somebody a gift or something, again, you just have that option. So if you're going to go paper when you meet with clients, you can totally do that. I have seen some consultants literally use the back of a profile for a receipt, but then they literally, one of my consultants said, oh, I just have them take a picture of the back of the profile card. That's their receipt. And I'm thinking, okay, but now in your file system, you have no idea what she just bought. A month from now, you're going to remember her formula. You're going to remember her shade of foundation. I don't think so. So whichever way you're going to do it, if you are a paper girl, fine, create paper. But then what I did for decades is I had a pink clipboard, kind of like this, a big clipboard. And what I would do is every time I got a receipt from a client, I literally put it in the clipboard. And then on Sunday nights, I would sit down and I would enter them all into the computer. So they would be done for the week. And then guess what else that allows you to do? That allows you to submit your weekly accomplishment sheet to your director. And what is a weekly accomplishment sheet? A weekly accomplishment sheet is going to show your sales for the week. And now, if you've been a Mary Kay, let's say you join in January, this is August, and you've never done a receipt online. I suggest you just get a stack of your receipts. I'd put them in alphabetical order from A to Z so that your customer, Jennifer Allison or whatever, you're going to go do all of her receipts. So if she's bought from you 3 times since January, you can literally do her invoices one right after the other. Does that make sense? It makes it super, super simple for you. Then at the end of the year, oh, your taxes will be such a piece of cake because you can literally print out your report. Now, when it comes to special deals or discounts, that's the reason. The other reason is on the computer version of the My Customers, it just says how much you charged your customer. But in the gross receipt report, I'm always assuming that I'm making 50%. but maybe I didn't make 50%. Maybe I gave her the roll up at half off, or I gave her something at a discount. So it's a little gray on that. So trust me, just go into the My Customers app and put that in there. And then you can record whether you're paying for shipping, whether you're giving her a birthday discount, whatever. And it also will record her order. So when you go to this My Customers and you have this, if she's already in here and you click on customer, and for privacy, I don't want to show you a customer, but if you pull up, I'll just pull up this one. Can I pull up here? I'll just pick somebody really easy. Well, that she's now a consultant. Um, anyway, so if I just pull up a customer and then I go into customer details, it's going to give me her address, her email, everything about her. But then if I go to orders, it's going to show me everything that she's ordered. And so I can literally go in here and pull up everything that she's ordered from me. So in this case, the woman who had her cosmetic bag stolen, I can say, oh yeah, just a month ago you bought beige 210 from me in luminous, and you bought this and you bought that, because it'll literally list everything that she buys. Does that make sense? So if you've gone paper so far, at some point you're going to need to go digital. If you are not a digital person, I get it. But what I would probably do is at the beginning of your skincare class, either ask them to fill out a skincare profile on your website, which automatically links to the My Customers, or hand them your phone, go to the My Customers section. And if anybody has a comment in the chat, please add it to this because I'm happy to address any questions. If you have, you can literally open your phone at a skincare class, and I'm gonna back arrow here a couple times. You're gonna go to this, you're gonna click down here, and you can literally hand your phone to a client and say, here, can you please add your personal information? And she'll go, oh, sure. And she'll put her first name, her last name, her phone, her email, her street. All of this is in here. Her email, her street, and it'll say primary. Then right down here, it has birthday and spouse's name. So you could literally hand her a phone and say, when you're done, just click the check mark at the top and then hand it to the person on your right. And so these women can literally do it while you're setting up for your skincare class. And then to create an invoice, when you're closing with her, you literally can open her profile and include all that. Okay, it makes it really, really simple for you. So I hope this has helped, because you don't want to do no system. No system is no bueno. No system doesn't work. Having them take a picture on the back of a profile card means you don't even know what you bought them. And especially if you're giving discounts. And you guys, this is a business. We need to treat it like a business, because if we run it that way, you're never going to know how much money you made. Like I've had consultants miss getting their picture on the cover of the newsletter for having 1,000 retail because they're not tracking it. At least this way, you'll go into your weekly accomplishment sheets, which is under business tools on Mary Kay in Touch, and all the orders from your phone are going to be listed above. It'll say Susie Smith, 215 for the repair, but you gave it to her for 199 because of the discount. Then it'll list the next person, the next person. And on the far right, it says add. You just click, I added her, added her, added her, and it'll add them to your weekly accomplishment sheet. So now your director will have all of your sales to be able to give you recognition. So whether you are a paper girl or a digital girl, have a system. I highly, highly suggest once a week you sit down. I do mine on Sunday night. It takes me, honestly, not even 10 minutes. And maybe they're working on the computer version, but on my phone, I can do it twice as fast because it's extremely user friendly. Oh, and the phone one will also say, by the way, you forgot free samples. Did you want to include free samples? Because when you send something on customer delivery service, CDS, you get to add 2 samples for free. So I said to the lady today when she bought the repair and a bunch of stuff, I said, well, I'd love to tuck in 2 samples because she seemed interested in lipsticks. I said, well, what colors of the semi-shine? She's only show me the stuff that's half off. I said, okay, what colors of semi-shine would you like me to tuck in? She says, I think Appleberry and Downtown Brown. I said, done. Okay, I can do that because I happen to know those are samples that the company offers. So I hope this helps you guys. Make sure you're taking good care of your customers. Treat each customer like gold.